Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30, March 31st, and we have again significant severe weather going on. We still have that high risk now. It seems like it's the southern part of it is now more active, but they still have moderate all the way up for pretty much along the whole Mississippi River. There's been multiple, looks like 39 reports of tornadoes right now. So if we go to the full plot here, you'll see all the tornadoes that, it doesn't really, you'll see 39 reports of tornadoes. That's quite a lot of tornadoes already. I was hoping they would have a map of all the tornadoes. But we have a tornado watch, particularly dangerous situation still. So let's look at the weather map here, and you'll see here's low, a cold front, which is more like a dry front, a warm front, which is approaching our area, and a lot going on. So let's first start with the radar. Significant damage after tornado. Let's start with this update here from AccuWeather. So large, extremely dangerous tornadoes ravage multiple states amid enormous severe weather outbreak. Numerous injuries have been reported as emergency crews assess extensive damage across the Midwest and South. And there's more severe weather, and it will last into tomorrow as well. So a confirmed tornado to pass south of Memphis. There was tornadoes around Little Rock as well. 2 tornadoes reported in Illinois. Here is a tornado warned supercell in near Peoria right there. And these are large wedge tornadoes. They're kind of rain wrapped, so people may not see them. And that's why you got to pay attention to your weather service. If there's a warning, here's some tornado damage in Sherman, Illinois. Here's more tornado damage, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Iowa. Cars, 23 injured after Little Rock tornado. So there was a tornado in Little Rock. Hospitals are treating 23 people for injuries suffered after a large tornado tore through the city in the afternoon. She said 5 of those patients are in critical condition. AccuWeather Storm Chaser gets close-up view of raging tornado in Iowa. Oh, look at this tornado right here. This is in Iowa, Keokuk County. This is a huge, ugly wedge tornado here that you see right here in front of them. That is not something to fool around with right there. These are the kind of tornadoes that are very, very destructive, and that is downright frightening. National Guard assistance will be needed. So you have a lot of widespread damage. Here's what looks like the tornado in Little Rock. So let's get this to, there you go. There it is. There's the tornado in Little Rock. Quite extensive here. And this is the whole threat area right here. You can see up and down the Mississippi River from Louisiana all the way up into Illinois right here. Damage and power outages reported as well. I'll have the link to all of this. Let's look at the current radar right now, and you'll see here is the line right here. It now looks like it's going through Indiana, Illinois, and then we have some breakaway cells in Missouri here. You can see here's another. It looks like this line is approaching parts of Kentucky here. Then we have another one southeast of Memphis here. Another cell near Clarendon, Arkansas. And then some more around over here, in Arkansas here, and into northern Louisiana as well. And even East Texas, you see here some cells. So if we go to the weather and hazards map, you'll see numerous. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings right now in effect across this area right here. Big tornado watches, and we also have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Those wind advisories and high wind warnings are creeping ever closer to our area. You see the red flag warning behind that. We were speaking about that yesterday. Earlier today, Oklahoma, West Texas, New Mexico, parts of Colorado. And then, of course, the snow up into South Dakota, into northern parts of Iowa and Minnesota, into maybe parts of Wisconsin as well, with the snowfall. So this storm has everything you can ever imagine. But the main thing I'm paying attention to right now is the severe weather aspect of it. If we go to poweroutage.us, let's do that. Poweroutage.us. That would be nice if I could type poweroutage.us. You'll see here that Illinois has a number of power outages, 71,000. Some of these are pretty hard-hit areas where the tornadoes did a lot of damage. Arkansas, also a lot of outages here in this area over here, and outages around Little Rock as well from these tornadoes. Could be damage to the transmission system. I don't know. We have outages in Tennessee as well, in the extreme western part of the state. Look at that. Tippecanoe County, most people, like over 75% are without power. Texas, we have 13,000 there. Looks like one county in particular has got some outages dealing with. But this storm is not done yet by a long shot, and it's going to continue for quite some time tonight. And it's going to be a really ugly night across the Mississippi area. And this moves east. And then we have to watch for tomorrow, because things are now we are now in a risk for tomorrow for severe weather. If I move this to the convective outlook for tomorrow, that's day 3. Where's day 2? Looking for day 2. You'll see we are now in a slight risk. That's right, yellow, slight risk for thunderstorms, for severe thunderstorms tomorrow. So this is the concern that I have, and I was talking about it last night. And we're going to look at some more models and more parameters, because it looks like things are going to be even more unstable than we originally anticipated. All right. So looking at the map right now, we put the temperature observations in here, and you will see here that we have. Look at some of these wind gusts here. These southerlies ahead of this front. 70, dew point 63, south of 29, gusting to 46. This is the kind of way. Here's another one. University of Illinois, 61, dew point 55, southwest at 39, gusting to 48. And look at how low the barometer is, 29.42 inches. So it's a pretty deep storm as well. And that's not even near the center of it. The center is further north of there. But you can see the southerly flow. You can see all the humidity coming up. You see these wind gusts here. And, this is some pretty warm, humid air. Here's another one. Tunica Municipal Airport, 76 degrees, dew point almost 70 degrees at 68. West-southwest wind at 35, gusting to 45. So that's the kind of weather that you're dealing with in these areas. And there is, like I said, we have tornado warnings here, multiple tornado warnings in effect for these areas. And then you see behind the front, it's still warm, but the dew points are much lower. If we go over here and we look here, the dew points are much lower. If we could pull that up, you'll see 72, dew point 23. So that's why there's a significant difference in the humidity. If I take all these out and just show the dew points to you, you'll see the difference in the humidity here. East of the front, you have dew points in the 60s, almost 70. West of the front, dew points in the 20s. That is quite a difference between the air masses, and that's why we have what we have with this. So let's take a look at our area now, and you'll see the advisories are now getting closer and closer to our area. And you'll see here, wind advisory is now in effect for New Jersey. They're probably going to include Long Island pretty shortly. If you go further to the west, we have high wind warnings in effect for some of the mountain areas here in, looks like western Maryland, into West Virginia, into parts of Pennsylvania. So this is something that will affect us as well. Right now, as far as our day went here, and we also have a gale warning in effect as well for tomorrow. Small craft advisory, that goes without saying. Right now, ice slips 50 degrees, dew point 46. Southwest wind at 14, gusting to 20. We're already starting to see that southwesterly flow develop. So you'll see here that southwest winds here. You see the temperatures are rising, and I feel it tonight. I'll tell you, especially when I got back to Mineola, it felt a lot warmer here. At least on the South Shore, it's a little cooler, but it already feels like we're in the mid-50s here. I'm going to check on some more observations. You see, it's more or less in the mid-40s today. Cloud cover, I mean, there was a little sun in the morning, but it got filtered by high clouds pretty quickly. The sky looked like today pretty much kind of overcast, though kind of an interesting layer there of the sky there. This is the kind of sky you have when you have a lot of warm air advection going on, which is what we are seeing tonight. And you'll see already it's in the mid-50s in New Jersey already. You saw there. So let's take a look at our highs and lows. First, start with the low temperatures, and I'm sure it probably had some pretty impressive radiational cooling. Hopefully, it'll show the lows. Let's see. Here we go. So look at that. I was right about West Hampton getting down to 15 degrees last night. So it got down to 15. For everybody else, Islip got down to the mid-20s. In the city, it was above freezing, mid-30s, obviously. And we had mid-20s also in New Jersey, though the radiational cooling does not look does not look as robust as West Hampton. Right now. I saw 20s there. Yeah, you'll see there. Not quite as robust as West Hampton, mid-20s, but wow, West Hampton, the cold spot, 15 at West Hampton. That's pretty incredible. High temperatures, we got into the low 50s today on Long Island. Now, there's a big difference here, again, between the areas. So you see low to more or less low 50s on Long Island, only 50 at Islip because of the cloud cover and the southerly wind. Though that high may be being reached now, according to what I was looking at, the observations. The city got into the mid-50s, and Jersey is already near 60 with highs, and the temperatures will be rising throughout the night tonight. So let's look at our... let's look again at the storms that are in the Midwest. I mean, not the Midwest, but the Mississippi River Valley. And you'll see all the lightning. It looks like there's thunderstorms around Michigan, Detroit. You can see all the lightning going on right here in these thunderstorms here. And I'm going to also show you some satellite loops, actually. Let's do that. So this is the satellite loop. You see, again, the high clouds there. But let me take this to East Conus here. And we're going to do this GLM flash intensity, which shows all the lightning. And there's the storm right there. And you see all the lightning now going on to the east of it there. Quite a bit of it, actually. And this has been, you can see how it's been ramping up compared to the way it was earlier. It's pretty ramped up, I might say. So let's go look at the models here, and we're going to look at this storm as it moves east here. And I'm just going to show you let's go to the eastern U.S. view here, right? So you get an idea. So there's our high. You can see the southerly flow. Our storm goes well into the Great Lakes. See the heavy snow up to the north center of it. And then you see how tight those isobars are. As we have tight isobars tomorrow, that means wind, all right? And we're going to be dealing with a lot of that tomorrow. It'll be a warm wind and then cooler winds on Sunday. But the worst wind is actually, I think, going to be tomorrow, not Sunday. And that's what I'm concerned about. If we go ahead and we look at the wind over here, you will see here the stronger winds showing up there. Look at that offshore, but some of that could be over there. And again, it looks like tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to be dealing with a lot of that. I'm kind of leave it at this larger view to show you the dew points again. So this is the dew points, the humid air coming up, the dry air behind it, setting up a classic dry line situation there. We get into that humid air tomorrow, and then that front comes through and drops the humidity down, and we'll have drier air, cooler air for Sunday with northwest winds. And you can see how sharp this front really is. If I put it in temperatures, you'll see again how sharp this front is. It's very sharp, and you'll see how warm it gets tomorrow. The GFS is having the warmth go 70s, perhaps well up to Buffalo, perhaps, but we may have a sea breeze on Long Island, keeping things a little cooler. So let's take a closer look now at the Northeast and look at the HRRR model, which we don't have all of it in, but it's enough. And that's the temperatures already. So being that we're showing the temperatures, you'll see how warm it's going to get tomorrow. So you'll see tomorrow we are going to have highs getting close to 70 or above 70 in much of New Jersey. In Nassau County, too, it's showing now warmer in Nassau because if the winds go more westerly, the sea breeze is going to be very limited. And the only relief you'll feel is right along the South Shore or further out east to Suffolk, where they'll have mid to upper 60s. And that's just going to help to destabilize the atmosphere even that much more, all right? And then the temperatures drop behind the front, and then as we get into Sunday, you'll see much cooler conditions, all right? It's all, and the humidity, of course, the dew points. This is humid air, so you can see those gusty south. Yeah, the winds go almost southwesterly, so that flow might keep Nassau a little warmer. Again, if you're on the South Shore, I think it'll be better. But here in Mineola, I think we're going to break 70 probably with no problem. So you'll see there southwest winds there tomorrow, pretty strong and gusty. And then you could see almost looks like a little wave along the front right there, right around that 0Z time frame. And that is when we have to watch for this. There's the dry air coming. That's when we have to watch for the severe weather. All right. And I know there aren't too many parameters on here, but we'll go to the rain. So first we're going to have rain tonight, heavy at times through the morning hours on Saturday through about, I would say, 11 a.m. Rain heavy at times, could be a thunderstorm with that too. And then this is what we have to worry about for the afternoon. And this model is developing a squall line. Look at this. So this is tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We have a squall line of severe thunderstorms moving over New York City, and then they they weaken as they get to Suffolk, but if you're in Nassau County, you're going to be pretty likely to possibly have some severe weather tomorrow. And again, I think that we'll see a severe thunderstorm watch issued for tomorrow as a result of this. That's, again, you see the V there. So everything's just really just lining up perfectly. It really is. You can see the V. Look at that right there. There's your V. And that's a sign of a sharp front and severe weather. You have a lot, strong gusty winds with these storms are likely. And can't rule out a tornado, but we could see some really strong straight line winds with these as well. And all the other hazards, thunderstorm spring like lightning. There could be some small hail, perhaps. And then that moves on, and then we have maybe a couple more lighter showers later on, but that's the worst of it. You can see it almost another low almost develops there along that front as it moves east of us. And then we have the tighter isobars lingering to Sunday, bring breezy conditions, but the isobars are tightest right at the front, and that's right ahead of and behind the front. That is where you're going to have the tightest isobars right there, and that is bad. That is bad right there. Now, as far as how much rain we would get, looking at the total accumulated precip, you'll see first round, depending on where those showers hit, you could get up to a half an inch of rain, maybe even an inch in some spots. Though it depends on where they hit. Obviously, if that is in a different area, we could get that instead of Jersey. And then when the second round of storms hit, that could probably get us up to a half an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. Maybe some areas will see over an inch of rain out of it. But the main threat is going to be the severe threat that we have, all right? And let's go back to this look at the NAM model. We have the 0Z NAM, but it's not enough, so I have to show you the 18Z. And you'll see here that again, the rain doesn't really get going until the morning. So right around sunrise, you'll see those showers come in. And it could be a thunderstorm, and it's actually forming a little line right there, actually. All right. And then here comes the line, and the NAM does the same thing with this line. Actually has a lone cell of a Jersey. Then it breaks it up as it moves east because of the cooler ocean waters, and I would expect that. But again, the further west you are in Nassau County, and particularly western Nassau, you could see some thunderstorms. If you're in Jersey, you're really going to have a good shot at some severe thunderstorms. Actually has a breakaway cell forming right over Ocean County right there. So like I said, the parameters are very, very good for a severe weather situation tomorrow. And if we go to let's just use this, because this is another thing we can use here to determine. Look at this. When you see something like this, that's like a big shovel in the atmosphere. It's going to cause a lot of lift when you see that right ahead of that front. And that is a concern, because you can see how this lines up with the dew points, the drier air coming in. All right. And that's a big concern, all right, for tomorrow. And the severe threat, I think, is going to be pretty substantial tomorrow afternoon. All right. So let's talk about the skies, all right, because we're going to see the sun come out tomorrow, and that's going to help to stabilize things. And you can see here on the NAM, it actually has the sun coming out more over Jersey, not so much over Long Island. It has the clouds. We may have some fog around, at least protecting Suffolk County. But if you're in Jersey, the sun comes out, and it's mostly out here. So this is going to help destabilize things quite a bit. All right, we can go to the RGEM and show that, and the same thing happens with the RGEM. But you can see it actually brings sunny skies over all of Long Island. And this is also a big concern right here. So after we're done with the showers, you're going to have that hazy sunshine. It's going to be humid. There's going to be plenty of moisture in the air. And when this front hits it, it's going to just explode. All right. And then for Sunday, we clear it out. We have a nice day on Sunday. All right. But I'm kind of focused on this event for tomorrow here. And this is the NAM model here. All right. By the way, I mean not the NAM, the RGEM model. All right. Let's go to the FV3 model, kind of using all these different models we have to show you. Well, I don't really have enough of the new one in. There's another model called the HDRPS, which we can use as well to show you this. It's not quite as high resolution, but you can see, again, these thunderstorms just exploding right around that 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow, well, hell is going to break loose. around that time in the New York metropolitan area, New Jersey. It's going to be a pretty wild night with these storms, and I can't rule out possibility of an isolated tornado as well with this, considering this is the same storm that is producing all these tornadoes right now. So let's go to the Ventus Sky, and we'll again look at this. We're going to visualize this. We'll pull Ventus Sky up here and show you again the surge of the warmth that's coming in ahead of this front. And in fact, let's put this in. Let's move this back to 5 o'clock so you can see the warmth that's coming in ahead of this. All right, so this is the warm air that's surging in ahead of this, and you see, look at how far it's surging into the east here. All right, so this is 10 a.m. tomorrow, and you can see it's starting to really surge into the area. 2 o'clock. Here we are, 60s, maybe, like I said, I think 70. This is probably underdoing it. All right, it's going to be even warmer than this. And depending on where that sun is out, all right, if we look at clouds, you'll see there's sunshine here. The sun is shining in western Suffolk County, Nassau County, the city, all of New Jersey, Hudson Valley. The sun is out. We have high humidity. If we look at the dew points here, you'll see well up into the 60s. These are very high dew points ahead of this front coming in. So this air is just ripe for some severe weather for tomorrow. If we look at wind gusts as well, we can do that. Showing you the wind gusts here. All right, it doesn't look terrible here. Let's go to the morning. That actually shows you it has stronger wind gusts in the morning with the warm advection from the warm front. You can see here we are at 1 o'clock, some pretty strong wind gusts. Then it sort of dies down a little bit, all right? But then we'll show you the front here, and actually you can see the wind gusts showing up here with the front, with these thunderstorms that could produce these very strong winds. So straight line winds possibility here with these storms. You could see gusts up to 50 perhaps with this, all right? Thunderstorms. Let's go look at the Cape. This is pretty impressive right here. This is 8 o'clock, and there's some pretty good Cape coming off New Jersey into southwestern Nassau. 5 o'clock, you can see all that Cape. So the atmosphere is pretty ripe for a severe weather for tomorrow, and I think we'll definitely see a severe thunderstorm watch issued and probably severe thunderstorm warnings. I think it's now likely that we're going to see some pretty stormy weather tomorrow. Lifted index. Yeah, this is also pretty impressive. All right, that doesn't look terrible. Cape Shear. Oh, yeah, look at it. Over Jersey, it's bad. So, yeah, if there's going to be a tornado, it's probably going to be in this part of New Jersey. Ocean County, Burlington County, this part of New Jersey right here, maybe Monmouth, would see the worst of it with these thunderstorms here because that's where it's going to be the hottest, as it always is. There's one more parameter we can look at. Oh my, yeah, look at this. So again, this is everything is just coming together for a pretty nasty evening tomorrow with these thunderstorms. So I want to make that the point of this weather update so people realize to be aware, pay attention to the radar because these storms are going to be bad when they hit, especially if you're in New Jersey, but even if you're on Long Island, Nassau County in particular, you could really be dealing with some pretty severe weather tomorrow evening. For sure. So this is something that we really have to keep pay attention to because this is right now all the parameters are coming together for severe weather tomorrow. Everything pretty much is coming together. So we have to keep that in mind. Once we're done with this, we will have a much better Sunday and cooler. So if we go look at, we'll go put this back to the GFS and we'll just show you the temperatures for your Sunday. Once we're done with this wild warmth, we will have temperatures drop by Sunday morning to the mid-30s, and then for Sunday we'll have highs in the upper 40s to around 50, and it'll be much more pleasant, but it will still be breezy. If we look at Ventus Sky here, we put this back to wind gusts here. You'll see behind the front we're going to have some wind gusts as well. Once we make it over to Sunday, the wind gusts are not too bad. 2 o'clock. Yeah, it's only like 20 miles an hour, so it's not the kind of damaging winds. But tomorrow, we're going to have to watch out. It's going to be a wild day. So that's going to wrap up this weather update, and I'll keep you posted on all of this as much as I can. And we'll see. Maybe I'll have a video of a good thunderstorm tomorrow night to kick off the severe season here. It's going to be a wild one, I have a feeling, this year. It's already crazy. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.